Hello, New Jersey. Shawn LaTourette, the state's Commissioner of Environmental Protection. You know, over the years, New Jersey has made tremendous progress in improving our air quality, improving our water quality, and ensuring that our communities receive the environmental protection that they so deserve. But the truth is that despite the hard work of my colleagues at the Department of Environmental Protection, not every community has shared equally in the benefits of environmental protection. For far too long, our fellow residents in low-income and minority communities have suffered a disproportionate burden of the pollution that we all together create in the way we run our businesses and how we get to and from work, how we live our lives. Under Governor Phil Murphy's leadership, we have been committed to furthering the promise of environmental justice. New Jersey has passed the most empowering environmental justice law in the country, but there is still so much work to do. And at the Department of Environmental Protection, we are expanding our Office of Environmental Justice to do just that. We're going to work with communities to build capacity so that every environmental justice community understands how to engage with government and to stand up for their rights, to raise their voices and be heard. We're going to work internally to change the processes and procedures and protocols and rules that have had a disproportionate impact on our fellow residents. And we are going to work with fellow agencies throughout state government to help them change too. Because only together can we do the hard work of addressing the systemic injustices that have led to these disproportionate environmental impacts on low-income and minority communities. Because it is time that we treat the environmental challenges of any one New Jersey community as a challenge to our entire New Jersey community, because we only do this together.
But it's not just about reducing disproportionate environmental hazards. Our state's overburdened communities also lack trees and parks that cool and clean the air and mitigate flooding. Green space is a precious commodity in New Jersey, especially in our highly urban communities. Studies have shown that in some places around the country, neighborhoods that are lower income and have more Black and Latinx residents can be up to 20 degrees hotter in the summer compared to whiter, wealthier neighborhoods. Years of disinvestment in our Black, brown, and indigenous communities, as well as our low-income communities, means that overburdened communities are not able to access or enjoy all that the Garden State has to offer. While the state works to decrease environmental hazards, we must also provide environmental benefits to communities that have been historically overlooked and underserved. Environmental justice does not only impact our urban centers, but also our rural and suburban communities. Under New Jersey's environmental justice law, more than 300 municipalities have overburdened communities within their borders.
The United States Environmental Protection Agency defines environmental justice as the fair treatment and meaningful involvement of all people, regardless of race, color, national origin, or income, with respect to the development, implementation, and enforcement of environmental laws, regulations, and policy. Fair treatment means that no group of people should bear a disproportionate share of the negative environmental consequences resulting from industrial, governmental, and commercial operations or policies. And meaningful involvement means that people have an opportunity to participate in decisions about activities that may affect their environment and health. It also means that the public's contributions can influence the regulatory agency's decisions, that communities' concerns will be considered in the decision-making process, and that decision makers will seek out and facilitate the involvement of those potentially affected people. The Department of Environmental Protection's Office of Environmental Justice seeks to further the promise of environmental justice in three key ways. First, the DEP is amending how we conduct our internal functions like rulemaking, permitting, communications, funding, and more to ensure that every activity we engage in does not further perpetuate injustice. Second, the DEP is facilitating a council of all executive branch departments and agencies to amend the way the entire state of New Jersey functions to achieve environmental justice. And third, we will engage with environmental justice communities and remove barriers to accessing resources so that those communities are better informed, heard, and able to advocate for justice locally.
So we invite you to join with us to engage with the Department of Environmental Protection and our Office of Environmental Justice. Go to www.nj.gov/DEP/EJ and help us to understand your community's needs, the challenges you face, because we can only do the hard work of furthering the promise of environmental justice when we hear directly from you. So join us in that work. And remember this, that our environment, our air, our land, our water, it doesn't belong to the government. It doesn't belong to the Department of Environmental Protection. Our natural resources belong to the people, all of the people, and it is our job to take good care of them for you.